Nice to have Tommy back. I think his minutes were a little more than maybe I had anticipated. Coming back and really having one full day of practice, but I think it was evident what we missed when we didn't have him. I thought we had two great performances from a couple of freshmen in Perez, and it's really hard to get a double-double in a half. He did that. And that being said, he and I have had a couple discussions since the game. Wasn't really pleased with his defensive prowess, but I think that'll be better, and he'll be very conscious of that. And then I thought Will was outstanding, and really got it going offensively, which we've seen him be able to do. And then I thought overall defensively, I thought Kylan, Draven, KJ, everybody that took turns on their guards, I thought we did a good job of being physical, winning the point of battle at the ball screen, especially in the second half. And then I thought, fatigued them. We forced them into a lot of twos, and it was kind of an NBA game with a lot of runs. And glad we had the last one. But now we move on, and it's the rack, and I think there are 70 plus sellouts in a row. Great environment for college basketball. Steve's done a great job. Obviously, they have two of the top 5 picks in next year's draft. Both very, very capable of having huge nights. They're both very gifted offensively. I think Ace is coming off a 40-point game or something very close to that at Northwestern. A team that is a typical Steve Peichel team. They're gritty. They play very, very hard on the defensive side. They're handsy. They'll throw multiple defenses at you, have quality depth. So a team that's playing better of late and has some road wins to show for that. And we'll have to play very well to go there and win.
Brett, it's the most you played that two big lineup in one game. What led into that, and what would you see from it?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag because I didn't think defensively we had been very, very good, and obviously, Devin had a big night, and it was mostly just guarding off the bounce and hitting a couple threes. Now, to his credit, he made threes. He was a low-volume three-point guy. I didn't care for it much the first 30 minutes, and I liked it a lot the last 10. I think offensively it gives us a great way to attack five-way switching. It opens the floor a lot, and then causes the matchups that allow Merez and Tommy to get a lot of rebounds. So that part of it I really like. And I thought it just created great opportunities for us to get downhill and get back into the paint. So kind of a mixed bag. It's something we got to continue to grow with, and we've got enough possessions. We should be good at it, but now we've with some tweaks in the lineup, and we'll see how all that continues to grow.
Not to give away the game plan, but do you throw multiple guys at guys like Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper?
Yeah, we always do. We do a lot of switching. They're Ace is one of the elite hard shot makers in college basketball. He's going to take some. He's going to make some. There's got one averaging 20, one averaging 18 or 19, and they're going to get their opportunities up. So. Really, really good players. We'll treat them like we do everybody else in this league that's capable of getting 20 a night or averaging 20 a night, and we got to be really solid and make their shots contested and difficult.
You said there was going to be an adjustment period when Tommy was back, and you talked about that after the game. How do you evaluate that starting group, understanding that there are going to be some readjustment processes?
Yeah, I don't. It's more about the flow. Like the last 10 minutes is the first time we had a group out there that we had great, like they were in a good rhythm on both sides of the court. We were getting stops, we were scoring, we weren't turning the ball over, and that's something that we had been lacking, we had been missing, and so I think there was some comfort there. I knew Tommy was going to be restless and nervous and whatever, maybe to start the game and a little out of sync, and he forced a few things, and conditioning probably wasn't to the level where he was going to be a great shooter, have a great night shooting it. But he worked his way into a double-double and settled into the game. And I think it's more as we continue to move forward, just seeing progress as we grow.
How hard is it to do what he did, where you basically have a practice and a half, and then come out and have a double-double in all those minutes?
Go lay in bed for 2 weeks and get 16 hours of sleep, and we all know how groggy and just awful that makes you feel. And I think it's more impressive to me what he did in the Michigan State game, knowing, and really the USC game, and knowing how bad he felt, and he just kind of masked it. He's a tough guy. I'm going to play, and then in the Michigan State game, when just to be sore throat and not swallow and not breathe and say I'm playing, probably more impressed with that than I am the fact that he was on the mend a little bit. But it's really hard to do, and just feel really comfortable. But Tommy's tough.
Right, this might be done, but Dylan Harper's missed the last couple games. How are they different when he's not on the court?
Yeah, I mean, you lose a 20-point-a-game scorer, you lose a facilitator, you lose one of the elite offensive talents in the country. Ace is, seeing a little more high volume in a lot of different ways. But I think there are other guys, their bench guys have really stepped up. I thought they've shot the ball well. They're playing extremely hard on the defensive side, and it's very hard to be without a guy everybody thinks is the second pick in the draft, and then not miss him. And they've done a really good job of playing well without him.
Was Tommy maybe able to play more than you anticipated Sunday? Was that just a case of you just had to kind of see how the game went with him?
Yes, 100%. It was just all feel. I was hoping to get 20. Somewhat productive minutes, and then just monitor it through, his hydration, how he felt, what adrenaline did, and so on and so forth. But yeah, he just kept saying he was great. Fletch and training staff just kept making sure he was hydrated and felt good. And, so yeah, it was again, it's a tribute to him and his toughness.
I mean, you said maybe he was kind of masking things a little bit. USC, like when he was out, did you have to tell him you need to be at home?
No, I think he felt so bad that he was really comfortable with taking long naps in the hyperbaric oxygen chambers, sleeping. He was out. I mean, he was, and I don't know, he'll probably tell you it was more than 16, but I mean, he was sleeping 16 hours a day. He felt terrible. And, there's nothing you can do. Our staff did an incredible job of making sure he ate. I think he lost 10 or 11 pounds in that process. One of the things that they did was make sure he got back to his normal weight before he returned, was able to return. So he was just out. He felt terrible and looked terrible, and it's just part of having mono.
Brad, obviously high usage players are going to have turnovers, but with KJ, when you guys get in there, what are the ones you don't like, and what are the teaching points of those?
Yeah, and I don't mind them as much as the first one. It's the second one, and I like his aggressive plays. I like his, he's going to have some of those. I like the fact that I don't want him thinking about him. He's a good enough player that, he shouldn't dribble off his foot. He shouldn't lose the ball. Those are mental carelessness mistakes. So but I don't worry about them too much. I really don't.
Coach, you rolled out the new starting lineup. Have you landed on that group for a while, or is it still evaluation going on and a work in progress? Or?
Work in progress. We'll see how things continue to develop. I think we're comfortable with the fact we have a lot of guys who can play. Our bench has been excellent as it was the other night. That's important to me always. But we'll continue to see, and it could be something that's matchup based. It could be something that's that we just roll with because we like it. So we'll continue to grow with that.
There wasn't as many 3-point shot against Ohio State. Do you think in the games to come, though, we're still going to see 3-point attempts in the 30s or 40s, or is it going to be lower?
I hope so. It's whatever the game needs. Ohio State's one of those, they play just like we did a few years ago. They take away threes. They force you 2-on-2 ball screen coverage. And we did a great job of attacking that. I think we're going to take what the game gives us. I think it's Tommy's got to shoot them. Ben's got to shoot them. Our guards have to shoot them when they're open. I thought we just did a good job of making the adjustment of reading what the defense gave us. And we did that in the Penn State game in the second half. They were trying to take away threes, and we had our highest rim rate. So, everybody's got to understand what we're trying to do. And it's not whether we make or miss the threes, it's whether we shoot them. And then we've got to go chase them. And we had every opportunity to win the Nebraska game. We didn't make any. That's life when you're doing that. And we got great opportunities, and we're going to continue to shoot them when we have them.
But where's KJ at physically with his hand? Looks like he's still got quite a bit of tape there.
Just prevent him. He's great. It's 100%.
With so many guys in this game tomorrow night that have high NBA potential, what kind of guidance do you offer a KJ or anybody at this point in the season about not carrying that around or the pressure of any of that, if there is it?
We don't even talk about it. We don't even acknowledge that it exists. They've got it. I'm sure they probably read social media. They got enough of that. We're trying to win games. It's about us. It's always about us. They're high character guys. They want to win, and so we don't even broach the subject.
Fred, what makes the rack hard? What makes that place difficult to play?
It's small. 70-some plus sellouts. They are right on top of you. They are extremely loud and vocal, and it's just we play in a lot of really big arenas, and this is more compact and tighter, and it's hot. It's it's just got an incredible vibe. I love going there. I love getting cussed at, things told how bad I look, and it's awesome. So it's just everything that's fun about basketball, and it's a great environment, and Coach Pikel's done a great job of creating that atmosphere.
I mean, this is not Rutgers related, but it seemed like the Luka trade has been the talk of basketball.
He got traded? Damn, you're kidding me.
Is that?
I didn't know that. For who?
Are you sitting down?
It was two guys in a pick. Did that buzz around here?
Sure, our guys pay attention to all that, and you've got to be in a coffin to not know that that happened. But it's something our guys talk about, and you don't see that every day. Two perennial all-stars being traded for each other, and we'll guys talk about that. Sure, there are a lot of guys like those guys.
Fans like to hear about analytics, especially with this team with all the new players. How valuable is it to have all of these games, in the book, and then evaluate that to make changes? And did you expect to be making role changes this time of year?
I probably had more of an expectation of change, knowing we had 10 new guys. You can really fall into some good or bad habits, however you want to look at them, with veterans, with old guys. And we were really comfortable. We knew exactly what we had last year. This year you expect unknowns, and you have to react to those unknowns, so we've got enough sample sizes now with different lineups, with bigs, with smalls, that we had a general idea of what we want to do, and now it's still, unfortunately, the month of January wasn't the smoothest, but we're still able to tweak it. But we feel like we've developed great depth, and we know we have good players, and now it's just again still trying to get the best combinations out there the most often as we can.
Okay,